Sup everybody, Ben the Blur here today, bringing you LEGO Transformers Panthera. The name Panthera comes from the family of black panthers, which are a crossbreed between jaguars and leopards. Panthera here in his Black Panther mode is the second of the Beastial Transformers that I'm creating. He's obviously a Black Panther who kind of looks a bit more like Ravage. In some instances, I think if this green eye here was red, you would definitely think that this is Ravage and not a, Black Panther. Ravage is, I believe, a jaguar anyway, so the difference between a jaguar and a panther is very slim. But yeah, he's got some nice detailing, like the shaping here on his back. It is a bit hard to see because of the fact that these are all black pieces. So I'm going to do my best. He's got these grill panels here, nice sloped back, a traditional like Bionicle style, or like Lego Knights Kingdom armor piece for his backpack. He's got the tail. He's got the legs. His front legs are on hinge tiles. So when you do pick him up, they do just flop down. For articulation in his Panther mode, his arms can go forward and backwards at 2 different points. He's got the hinge in his elbows here. He's got a bit of a waist like hinge here. He does have a waist rotation as well. He's got 2 different points for his hips to go forward and backwards. His knees can go forward and backwards. He's got like a swivel here in the middle of his thigh, and he's got a rotation and tilt here in the foot, as well as his tail being on a hinge here, and can rotate on this clip as well. On the underside of him, you can see his robot head just sort of peeking out there, but from most angles, you can barely even see it. For a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a LEGO minifigure. Obviously, this scale I personally think this scale suits him because he is obviously a Panther on Cybertron, so he is going to be quite large. And that's the idea I want to come across with my Beastial Transformers, is that these are very large beasts. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't really have anyone else in like their alternate modes or vehicle modes to showcase against him. But here he is with Talos Prime. So you can see this scale I think suits him very well. This sort of matches up. If this is Talos Prime's height, he comes up in his Panther mode just about halfway up his thighs. So that's pretty decent. Anyway, there's not really much else to say about him, so let's just get on to his transformation. So to transform Panthera, first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to detach the tail. This robot claw, it just has a hollow 1x1 black stud which just plugs into the back of a Travis brick, and this becomes his sword. Very simple. And here you have the main robot. First things first, what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the neck of the Panther. We're going to bring down the head, and we're going to rotate it actually all the way around and then bring it down completely, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to rotate the arms at these clips that hold the 1x1 studs with the bars on them. We're going to pull those down just like this on both sides, and then we're going to bring down the waist and out of the way, and we're going to focus on the torso. Just bring my camera up a little bit more, just like that. We're going to swivel this around to the side, so then you can take this whole assembly here, rotate this whole section and segment around, like that. And then we're going to rotate the arms on those clips like that. And then rotate this segment around again to do the exact same on the other side. There. And then bring this assembly back as well. And then we'll rotate this around so that the head comes up to the proper placement. Might as well finish off the arms. We're going to bring these all the way around to the front. And then we're going to bring these up just like so. Rotate them down. And situate them however you like. Just like that. Do the exact same on the other side. Bring this up. Bring this down. Then bring the actual arm upwards. Swing it out and around so that you get a proper shoulder. I do also like to bring the arms out slightly and move them back on the poles, just like so that he has widespread arms. Now what we're going to do is you take the waist assembly, we're going to rotate this around, take the hips and the thighs, we're going to bring them forward, bring these down, and then we're going to swing these around slightly at an angle so that the legs sit sort of a bit more spread. And then the feet, let's detach his torso, we're going to bring them flat and then rotate them to the side. So the exact same on this side. Bring this whole assembly down. Bring that in a bit, move this out, straighten out the legs, and then flip around the panther feet. And so the claws of the panther feet become his little heels. And then one thing I do like to do as well is I like to flatten the actual panther legs against this and then bring this whole assembly upwards just like that. That way you have something that looks a lot like this. Finally, you just take the head of the panther, we're going to rotate it around, and that way the ears of the panther will sit in that little gap, cover up most of his back, and we're going to stand him up just like that. And there you have Panthera in his robot mode. Now his robot mode is fairly unique. If I can get close-ups here of some details. I do apologise again because he is all black. But the back of the panther, much like with Tyrannicus and the back of the dinosaur becomes his chest plate. He's got some nice shaping to him. He's got the grills there, got the armor piece for his abdomen. He's got a nice green eye for his visor. Just like that. He's got nice shaping to his arms with some jumper plates on the side for you to attach weapons. The front claws of the panther become his hands. The paws for the back legs of the panther become his heels. And, you know, it's not massively detailed, but he has a few unique pieces, like these 1x2 rail track pieces become like, you know, shin armor and whatnot, calf muscles. And I do like how the panther head just sort of folds into his back. You can also orientate it so that the panther head comes up behind his head, his robot mode head, but then that leaves his, like, the back of his torso kind of gappy, and I prefer to just have it like this. It does look a little bit jarring for it to just stick out like that, but from the front, it's actually pretty okay, because it hides that little element very well. You can obviously take his tail, which just, you know, plugs right into his hand. If I can actually get it in there. There we go. You can plug his tail into his hand, and that becomes a sword for him. And that just plugs into the Travis brick, which is on here, the back here, like his butt. Just plugs right in there. So then you can store it there as well in robot mode. I just like to give it to him as his hand, just to give him a melee weapon. For articulation, his head is just studs so they can rotate from side to side. His arms can go forward and backward here at the shoulder, and then he also has his arms can go forward and backward here at the clips that they attach to. They can swing in and out. He's got a hinge here at the elbow. He's got a waist swivel. He's got an ab crunch. His hips can go forward and backward at 2 different joints. He's got like the thigh like rotation, so you could bring his legs in a slightly bit more or out a slightly bit more. He's got a hinge here at the knee, and he's got a hinge here at the foot, and obviously rotation at the foot as well. He's very nice, like he's very, very simple, very basic, but I do quite like him. He is kind of hard to see all of his unique details, but you know what, he's very simple, and that's why I think I like him quite a lot. For a quick size comparison in his robot mode, here he is with his boss, his brother in arms. Here he is with Tyrannicus. And these two suit together very well. There are certain elements between the two of them which are very similar. Obviously the head is very similar. The transformation is sort of similar as well. Like how the back of the animal becomes their chest plate, the legs of the robot become legs in their, you know, beast mode, and the tail of their beast modes becomes their weapon. That's something that I quite like about these guys, is I didn't want them to have guns and whatnot. I wanted them to purely have melee weapons that are integrated into their animal forms. So, but I think these two look good together anyway. Here he is also compared with the leader of the Autobot Resistance. Here he is with Talos Prime. These two look good together as well. And here he is with Atom Breaker. So, obviously out of the bunch, Atom Breaker is the biggest. Then Talos Prime. Then Tyrannicus. And now Panthera as well. Anyway, I think that's probably going to be just about it for today, guys. So I want to thank you lot all so much for watching. Please like, comment, favourite, subscribe for more videos. Comment any ideas and suggestions you have as well for future projects. And I shall see you next time. Peace out.